You are sitting on the couch, your thumb resting lightly on the bottom edge of your smartphone screen. You flick your wrist, scroll through a feed of endless images, and your fingers tap with rhythmic precision. It feels like a modern habit born from glass and silicon. But the real answer is far stranger than that. The way your hand curves to cradle that device is not a product of the digital age. It is a fossilized motion. Your grip is a ghost of a predator from the Pleistocene. You are not holding a phone. You are holding a spear. Take a moment to look at your hand right now. Notice how your thumb sits in opposition to your fingers, creating a stable, locking mechanism. This is the precision grip. It is the defining mechanical trait of your species. Most primates can grasp, but you can manipulate. You can hold a tool with enough tension to exert force, yet enough delicacy to keep it from slipping. Why did your ancestors need such a specific grip in the first place? It was not for typing emails. It was for survival in a world that did not care if you lived or died. Think back 3 million years to the savannah. Your ancestor is crouched near a watering hole. They are watching a herd of gazelles. They hold a sharpened stick, weighted at one end, balanced perfectly between the thumb and the index finger. This is the birth of the hunting reflex. This grip allowed for the kinetic energy transfer necessary to launch a projectile with velocity. You see, the power does not come from your shoulder alone. It comes from the way your thumb anchors the weight. It comes from the way your wrist snaps at the final millisecond. This is the very same snap you use to dismiss a notification or scroll past a video. Are you starting to see the pattern yet? Your brain is a collection of ancient survival modules masquerading as a modern personality. You assume your behaviors are choices. You assume your habits are quirks of your personality. But every time you adjust your grip to reach the top corner of your screen, you are engaging a neural pathway designed for target acquisition. The neuroscientist John Napier once argued that the evolution of the human hand was the primary driver for the expansion of the human brain. He suggested that as our hands became more capable of fine motor control, our brains had to grow larger to manage the complex sensory feedback loops required for tool use. Your phone is simply the newest target. Look at how you hold the device when you are nervous. You squeeze it tighter. Your knuckles turn white. This is the death grip of a primate who expects an ambush. You are unconsciously bracing for a physical confrontation that will never come. Even when you are just browsing, your brain treats the screen like an extension of your own sensory apparatus. You are mapping the digital space onto the physical space of your own body. This is why you feel a phantom vibration in your pocket. Your brain is scanning the environment for input just as an ancestor scanned the tall grass for movement. Consider the research of Dr. Marzena Grokowalska. She has spent years studying the biomechanics of the hand in relation to cognitive processing. She suggests that the way you hold your tools dictates the way you perceive the world. When you hold a pen, your brain enters a state of focused, linear extraction. When you hold a phone, your brain enters a state of predatory scanning. You are constantly searching for the next piece of information, the next dopamine hit, the next prey item in the digital stream. Is it any wonder you feel exhausted after hours of scrolling? You are not just reading. You are hunting. You are performing a marathon of micro-adjustments that your ancestors would have reserved for the most intense moments of their lives. Every scroll is a flick of a spear. Every tap is a strike against an enemy. Your brain does not distinguish between a threat to your social standing on a screen and a threat to your life on the savannah. The cortisol spikes are the same. The adrenaline is the same. The physical tension in your forearm is the same. You are a prehistoric hunter trapped in a sedentary body. Look at your thumb again. It moves with a dexterity that would baffle any other species on this planet. This thumb is the reason you survived the Ice Age. It is the reason you built cities. It is the reason you are now staring at a glowing rectangle in the dark. But there is a twist in this story that you might find unsettling. You are not just using the phone. The phone is using you. Think about the design of the interface. Why are the buttons placed exactly where your thumb can reach them? Why is the scroll speed so perfectly calibrated to your reaction time? The designers of your digital reality are not just engineers. They are behavioral architects. They have studied your anatomy. They know the limitations of your grip. They know the exact angle at which your hand begins to ache. They have mapped the geometry of your evolutionary history and turned it into a user experience. They are exploiting the hunting reflex to keep you engaged. Consider the work of Dr. Daniel Lieberman at Harvard University. He writes extensively about the mismatch between our evolutionary biology and our modern environment. He calls it the evolutionary mismatch hypothesis. You were designed for a world of scarcity, a world where food was hard to find and information was vital. Now you live in a world of abundance, where you are bombarded with more information in a single day than your ancestors encountered in a lifetime. Your brain is trying to solve problems that no longer exist. It is trying to find the spear in the stack of pixels. This leads to a strange paradox. You feel lonely when you are disconnected, even though you are surrounded by people. This is because your brain evolved to track the social dynamics of a small, tight-knit group of perhaps 150 individuals. When you stare at your screen, you are trying to track the social status of thousands of people at once. Your brain is working overtime to interpret the body language of digital avatars. It is trying to calculate the hierarchy of a tribe that does not actually exist. Your thumb is working, but your heart is confused. You might wonder if this behavior can be unlearned. You might ask if you can reclaim your attention from the grip of the screen. The answer lies in your ability to recognize the reflex for what it is. When you feel that sudden, sharp urge to check your phone, pause. Look at your hand. Feel the tension in your wrist. Recognize that this is not a modern impulse. This is a 500,000-year-old survival mechanism firing in the wrong context. You are not bored. You are hungry for input. You are scanning for the horizon. Acknowledging this does not make you weak. It makes you human. You are the product of millions of years of successful adaptations. Every time you hold your phone, you are carrying the entire history of the human race in the palm of your hand. You are the descendant of those who were best at grip, best at focus, best at scanning the horizon. You are the master of the tool. The question is whether you are also the master of your own attention. Can you put the spear down? Can you look away from the horizon for just a moment? You are standing in the middle of a modern world that is moving at the speed of light. You have the tools of gods and the brain of a hunter. The friction you feel between your natural instincts and your digital lifestyle is the sound of evolution trying to catch up. Your hand is a masterpiece of biological engineering, capable of crafting civilizations and destroying them just as easily. It was built for the bow, for the needle, for the chisel, and for the stone. It was built for the tactile reality of the physical world. Yet here it remains, clutching a piece of glass, waiting for the signal to strike. Notice the stillness of the air around you. Notice the weight of the device in your palm. If you loosen your grip, the tension leaves your shoulders. If you let your arm hang by your side, the urge to scan the feed begins to fade. You are not a machine. You are a biological organism that requires rest, sunlight, and genuine connection. You are a creature of the earth, not the cloud. You have been holding your phone like a hunting reflex, but you are not a hunter. You are a person. The next time you reach for your device, do it with intention. Observe the mechanics of your hand as if you are a scientist studying a rare specimen. Watch how your fingers curl and how your thumb seeks the center. Recognize the ghost of the spear thrower in your thumb. Recognize the ghost of the gatherer in your eyes. When you see the phone for what it really is, the power it holds over you begins to dissolve. You are no longer trapped in the loop of the hunt. You are simply holding a device. You have spent your entire life believing that you were just a person scrolling through a phone. You thought your habits were personal failings or simple modern conveniences. But the truth is etched into the very bones of your hand. You hold your phone like an ancient hunting reflex because you are still the same creature who once stood on the edge of the savannah, spear in hand, watching for the first sign of movement in the tall grass. You are the hunter who became the creator, and the creator who became the user. Every day, you reach for that screen with the same instinct that once ensured your survival. And now that you know the truth, the way you hold your phone might never feel the same again.